the work of CEO is basically have five plays on your table with five bad decisions, and you just understanding what kind of decision on this table will have less damage at the end that I can deal with.
They say it's lonely at the top. They're right. But you don't have to scale your company alone. Welcome to the Scaling CEO. I'm Glenn Gow, the CEO Success Coach. On this podcast, I sit down with top performing CEOs to uncover the hidden patterns and frameworks behind their success so you can avoid common pitfalls and accelerate your company's growth. Now, on to the show. My guest today is Vladyslav Podoliako. No, I didn't get that right. Podoliako.
Right.
Vlad is the founder and CEO of Belkins, a company that has quietly become one of the most effective B2B growth machines on the planet. While other companies talk about growth, Belkins engineers it. They are consistently ranked as a top global B2B agency and have landed on the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies multiple times. They're experts in one thing: building predictable revenue engines by filling sales pipelines with qualified appointments. Who doesn't love that? More than that, Vlad is a Ukrainian founder who has scaled his company and team through incredible adversity, building a resilient global business from the ground up. He knows what it takes to build systems that deliver results, no matter what the conditions. If you are a CEO who wants to stop guessing where your next customer is coming from, this conversation is for you. Vlad, glad to have you here.
Thank you for the intro, Glenn. Pleasure is mine.
And please tell the audience the correct pronunciation of your last name, since I couldn't get it quite right.
Yeah, no problem at all. No worries. So name is Vlad Podoliako, and I'm usually all the time struggling with all the pronunciation and with this kind of tongue twisters in my last name, but I already get used to it, so all good. So I
All right.
go by Vlad.
Thank you. Thank you, Vlad. So scaling a service business like Belkins means scaling people and process, not just code. It's notoriously difficult to maintain quality. What's the one scaling insight you learned about hiring and systems that would have saved you months of pain had you done it earlier?
It actually depends on what kind of time frame we're talking about. Well, right now, if you would ask me this, was on my size of the company, like 300 people, etc., different like locations, I would say that you need still to be involved in all the like hiring processes. And again, if you are in people business, you actually working with people and clients actually likes more to work with people of yours or yourself, your clients, I mean, than with any other tool. They would rather to choose working with people. So there is an important heads up that you always need to find the right people that you wanted to work with, that would be work with your clients, with your product, with your agency. And without being involved in that, you will probably fail. And I know that there is like bigger companies, Fortune 500 companies, for example, with tens of thousands of people. But when we are talking like in the company up to 1,000 people, when you creating the foundation, like entire foundation of their company, you actually need to be involved in like, I would call it culture interview. You need to kind of calibrate people around how they would be fit for working with you, for example, or how you would be fit for them and how you would contribute to their goals, or how you would give them the platform where they can like grow and like again care about personal growth, not just the company growth, and how you can contribute to that.
I really like that. It's unusual to hear a CEO talk about hiring people so that they can achieve their goals. And I understand where you're coming from, because they're going to be motivated to perform at the highest level if they believe that they have a personal win while it's also contributing to the company's win. So that's fantastic.
Right.
Now, you've built Belkins into a global powerhouse from the Ukraine, hitting the Inc. 5000 list during a time of war. How has that reality forced you to lead differently and build a more resilient, anti-fragile company than your competitors?
That's actually a good question. And in that, actually, our clients helps us a lot because, again, business is growing or business is living when you have the veins, which is your clients give you, like money injection, like retention revenue, new sales revenue, and everything is interconnected with that. And our clients, like in both crises, like in COVID crisis and now work crisis, and again, economy recession and everything that we are having like worldwide right now, is actually the understanding and client-oriented work helps us a lot. And when something happened, like what happened in Ukraine, and we have like a lot of people in Kiev and Lviv, our clients actually helped us to adapt, help us to kind of restructure all the processes for them, and still we are didn't lose almost any of our clients, and even more that our clients help us to like do some volunteering job, created some opportunities for refugees in different countries. So that's really different level, different scale how we interacting with our clients, and they are more like partners in the journey, not kind of client and company relationship at the end. And clients being super understandable of what kind of happening, and they know that we will deliver no matter what. And they actually work kind of on the same page with everything that's going on, and they would kind of pretty open to help us and help us to succeed, help people to succeed. And that was kind of the moment of kind of united process, united understanding, and united communications, with us building the right relationship with our clients and with the people that help us to strive and grow through the crises. And actually,
That's a,
we quite grow well and big after like during all these events.
well, that's what I kept hearing is about building a relationship with your customers and treating them as partners and vice versa.
Right,
And
right.
so that means that they can be more understanding of the situation that you're in and more loyal to you. Is that a good way to think about it?
Yeah, I think so. And this is one of the reason why there is no kind of takeover from the AI on the horizon, on the frontier, because people working with people, people building relationship with people. And at the end, if you are creating a great relationship, there is some sort of a community that we're building with both clients, people that working, and all the products or companies we're building within that.
I
So
love that.
that's, yeah, critical.
Thank- That's great. That's a great lesson for all of us. Moving on to another topic, you were quoted saying that the key is to systematize what works and eliminate what doesn't relentlessly. Now, every CEO listening to this podcast nods their head to that, but few do it well. So, for the CEO who's listening, what is the very first part of the sales process they should systematize to get the fastest results?
Follow-ups. A lot of people have a lot of calls during the days. For example, myself, I having like up to 7, 10 meetings sometimes, like different type of meetings, like maybe it would
Sure.
be the things with your team or client calls, but mostly like client partnership type of calls or others. And when you kind of during the week have 50 plus meetings, Zoom meetings, in-person meetings, you kind of can have been like kind of you will lose some details of the conversation or part of the conversation. So you
Right.
definitely need to create a system that will help you to follow up on the next day and follow up after if you haven't seen any response on that as well. And build some system around that will help you to like keep track of the records. And again, this is why people using CRMs at the first hand, but I also like really suggest to people to watch of their kind of follow-up lists, and if you promise to deliver something, because like all sales calls ends with I will follow up with something, and you need to follow up with something and also follow up after that. And if you found that focusing on sales or you wanted to like grow your company, you definitely need to be focused more on sales. And you need to set your expectations of your clients really high, with you being like keep them posted and follow up and keep like tracking records of the all of the things being said or promised.
Yes.
Oh,
And one of the tools I've seen many CEOs use is to ensure everybody walks away from a meeting with clear action items if they own them. And then they have the responsibility of following through on those action items, not you. You're not, your job isn't to have to follow up with everybody else. They own the responsibility of following up with an action item.
right.
And this is great from a customer service perspective too, because then the customer doesn't have to worry about what they have to do. They know that you're going to own that and ensure that they get what they need as a result. So that's fantastic. Thank you for
Totally.
sharing that tip.
Yeah, sure thing.
Um, Now you have a unique view into hundreds of companies. What is the single biggest blind spot CEOs have about their own sales pipeline? What's the myth they believe that consistently holds back their growth?
A lot of people thinking that if they will hire a person that getting 500,000 grand per year, that will solve their problems. But
Mm,
sometimes problem is in the product or in the company or in the business model. In most of the cases, business model where your unit economy just don't work for like type of sales process you wanted to hire people for, and without kind of first foundational understanding of your business model, and you as a founder or CEO, creator of that, you cannot hire people in a hope that they will scale this system if you didn't had a chance to try it by yourself to scale this.
right,
And to build good sales system, founders and CEOs need to be involved in sales and field sales to at least close people, let's say at least close clients, companies up to at least $50,000 or something to secure some checks to show some value, or
yeah,
100,000.
yep,
And after that, and also there's the good example how you can hire your first sales executives in the company when you're leading by example. And there is a lot of led by example to show salespeople, and salespeople always talking that this is impossible, or we cannot close like 12-month contract without, I don't know,
right,
securing upfront payment. You need to go monthly on that, but you can show them by your example that it can happen, and nothing can, basically is impossible in that process. And as an example, you can kind of like break the ceiling of understanding of theirs and show example how to scale the system. Without that, I actually didn't have a lot of like really great success cases when CEOs or founders hire a certain person to like scale certain idea out of the head of the CEO.
right, right. Yes. So they have to have product market fit. They have to prove that because you can't just hire a great salesperson if you don't have product market
Right.
fit. The second thing related to this, you were alluding to this, is that the founder needs to do the initial sales. I understand that. And they need to recognize there's a point where we can no longer scale through founder led sales. So we need to have that understanding of how to shift that knowledge and experience over to a team that can deliver growth. So
Right.
let's talk directly to the CEO who's listening now, whose revenue is stalled. Okay. Their lead
Right.
flow is a roller coaster. It's high one month and it's low the next. What is the most critical action they need to take right now to start building a predictable revenue engine?
That's actually a difficult question because there is
Well, we only give
no,
difficult questions here, Vlad.
yeah, I got that. I got that. So, I mean, why it's difficult? Because it really depends on the acquisition channels. And again,
Mm,
acquisition channel is a blood flow for the company. You need to have a good acquisition channels in order to secure clients. It's either to be like email marketing or cold calls or ads or content, or either events or field sales, or eventually word of mouth. And a lot of clients of ours, when they are looking for scale their businesses, they always said that the best channel we have, Vlad, is word of mouth. Can we scale this and have the same good conversion rates, close rates, and everything? And I'm just saying no. Like you can actually expect that when you're doing or wanted to scale your company with cold outreach or cold calls or other cold processes, you can expect like 10x less performance from that. And it would be more struggle to close this client because,
right.
word of mouth, everyone kind of warmed up and called people just like shopping around and knowing about your pricing and value proposition and everything. To answer your question, you definitely need to go over each acquisition channel one by one to find what works the best.
Hmm.
And if you're seeing like a roller coaster of the leads that you are getting on a monthly basis, you need to find out the way how to scale this. And you also need to understand which marketing channel will not work for you.
That's
For
right.
example, in our case at Belkins, we pivoted 2 years ago to working with upmarket with enterprise companies, with folks like Amazon, Cloudflare, Tech Data, Cisco, IBM, and others. We find out that when we are doing cold outbound for this segment of clients, it just don't work, or the cost of closed deals close a deal for us more than like $40,000. So customer acquisition cost is kind of ridiculous.
You're right.
And we find out that from ads, from content that we are generating, or from cold calls, we have like $5,000 customer acquisition cost instead. And still, I wouldn't say that email marketing don't work. It's just super expensive.
Right.
And I just changing my priorities to finding the most profitable channel in that manner. Because yeah,
Yeah.
you
So
need
I'm
to
a,
always think about numbers.
yeah, it's a very tricky thing because attribution is always a challenge. But I believe in an integrated marketing approach where you're doing multiple channels, you're trying multiple things, but you're also tracking where you believe that trigger was for that buyer to eventually connect with you in a meaningful way enough that you can close that business.
Right.
Um, let's talk about you for a minute. So you had to be the best salesperson in the company because you were the founder. And now, as the CEO of a large agency, you have to scale and lead other people. So, what was the hardest part of your personal journey of scaling yourself from the star salesperson to now the leader who builds a winning team?
I actually have a good answer for that. I call this street MBA. When basically you
Street,
getting
street
all
MBA?
a street MBA,
Oh, I like
when
that.
y- you basically getting all the knowledge from practical experience that you are facing, and it's sometimes hitting you so hard that you're like always like getting to this point that what I'm doing here or how I can like overcome this, and oh hell, this is really challenging for me. And as a founder and CEO, you always like looking how you can get this energy, like energy that will help you to overcome all of these challenges. And you know, the work of CEO is basically have five plays on your table with five bad decisions, and you just understanding what kind of decision on this table will have less damage at the end that I can deal with. So
Right.
that's basically the CEO work in a nutshell. So I'm actually doing this for 10 years. I'm started with no like kind of experience, with no knowledge how to run a company, but I actually have no fear of doing a lot of mistakes, a lot of like stupid mistakes, and growing as my company grows, as my people grows with me. And why this is the street MBA? Because no one told me how to build a company, or I saw some like, you know, unicorn examples of Nvidia or Apple or others, which is kind of not suitable for, I don't know, a random guy in Ukraine that wanted to build something. And right now, I would say that you just need to try rather than think about certain problem for a long time. So there is this kind of quote unquote, I don't remember who said this to me, but you need to try. I tried more that you even think like about this certain problems in different ways. So I tried all of possible solutions for a certain situation while you're thinking about one. So you're just trying, and you're trying to break the wall with it. And if something is not working, or there is no like capacity or capabilities to like break this wall, you're doing a few steps back. You're understanding that this is not the right solution for me to kind of focus on right now. And you do this kind of re-strategizing on what is doing right, or how your experience on like this level right now is not suitable for the solution of the problem. So I actually have a like practical example for you, Glenn, and for the
Oh, great,
listeners.
great.
So as we stated at the beginning, I built a Belkins for 10 years and this kind of B2B sales agency. But we also try to build products. So product is a different kind of fruit here. And when we try to build product, and I can say Postgre as our example is email deliverability platform, and it's our first product. When we were starting to build product, it was a completely different game. When I thought that my experience would be my strongest side to build or scale this product. And I thought this we're really successful for the first 9 months of running product company. And we scaled this to 2 million ARR, which is a lot. Like for some
Wow,
founders, it's a
excellent.
lot. But after there is starting to be like mistake after the mistake, a lot of related to like product development architecture that we created like a certain monolith product that we cannot scale. And all the people, the like technical people said that we cannot kind of grow product like that, and we need to kind of do 5 steps back and rebuild entire system from scratch.
Yes,
And from my
yes.
understanding, like, why are we doing that? We already have 2 million ARR. We will lose our momentum. We're losing our momentum. We need to scale this. We need to like, find a way how we can like orchestrate all of these problems, but there is none, and you just need to rebuild the product. And we spend like after that 10 or 12 months after was all the frustration coming of losing momentum, was all the frustration working with the team. And I thought I'm the smartest in the room in that kind of process, but it's not true. And again, I
Well,
learned a lot and I can build products now.
oh, I give you huge credit for your whole model is around learning and experimentation and being curious about what's going to work. And I want to share with you your experience in building a product and then having to go back is not that unusual. I have several CEOs that I work with who the way they describe it to me, Vlad, is they said we built the second and third story of the house, but the first story isn't sufficient. It's not there. It's not going to hold up
Right.
everything we need in order to grow. So we need to go back, build that infrastructure so that we can actually build something that's multi-story. And so that's
Totally.
similar experience to what you have. And I'm glad you recognize this. So Vlad, thank you. We're out of time today. Tell us, the audience here, if they would like to reach out to you, how can they reach you?
Yeah, you can go over my LinkedIn or subscribe to my newsletter as well. I'm like sharing a lot of useful experience and learnings and my thoughts on the future over the my website. We can share the link after, I think. So yeah,
Yes. Great.
LinkedIn.
Vlad, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Glad you invited me. Thank you very much.
That's a wrap for today's episode of The Scaling CEO. If you found this valuable, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with a fellow CEO who could benefit. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please give us a quick rating as it really helps more people find the show. I'm Glenn Gao, the CEO Success Coach. See you next time for more proven strategies to grow your business and leadership.